Chapter 3, Mishnah 5. There are two types of Nedarim. Nedarim Isur, which are Nedarim of prohibition, where one prohibits something, and Nedare Hekdesh, Nedarim of Hekdesh, where one gives something to the temple, thereby making it Hekdesh, sacred. Although most of the Tractate discusses Nedarim of although most of the Tractate discusses Nedarim of prohibition, this Mishnah deals with Nedarim of Hekdesh. If one says, this object is Hekdesh, or this object is a Korban, it becomes Hekdesh and may not be used for non-temple purposes. In most cases, however, it can be redeemed with money. The sanctity of the object is transferred to the money, with the result that the money becomes Hekdesh and the object becomes ordinary again. If someone saw a strong storm coming and said, these young trees shall be a korban if they are not detached from the ground by the storm, and the trees were not detached, or if he saw a fire burning and said, this cloak shall be a korban if it is not burned, and the cloak was not burned, the trees or the cloak become the property of the temple, Hekdesh, and they can be redeemed. However, if he said, these young trees shall be a korban until they are detached from the ground by the storm, and the trees are still attached to the ground, or if he said, this cloak shall be a korban until it is burned, and the cloak is still unburned, the trees or the cloak become the property of the temple, and they may not be redeemed. That is, if one redeems them with money, the sanctity of the object is transferred to the money, but then the object becomes sacred again. Since he said that the trees or the cloak shall be sacred until they are detached or buried, we assume he meant that they cannot permanently lose their sanctity before that point. Rather, they repeatedly become sacred until then.